Welcome back to SFC Live here at the Stadium of Light. Delighted to be joining you after a 3-1 victory for Sunderland. I don't know where to start in that game. Sunderland, of course, doing the business in the first and second half, getting those goals. Stoke come back into it, of course, with that own goal. But apart from that, in the second half, clear-cut opportunities. They came to Sunderland in the game and they took them.
Yeah, I think that was the case, really, taking opportunities. I think they had the better opportunities, certainly in the first half, and then a couple at the start of the second half, didn't they, as well? Don't put the ball away, comes back to bite you in the backside, and that was the case, I think, for Stoke this afternoon. And Stephen Schumacher, just along from us there, to be frustrated in his post-match. Scoreline perhaps flattered us a little bit, but we took our chances today. You know, you look at the whole game last week, a lot of the ball didn't work the goalkeeper enough. This afternoon, we've had some good opportunities, put the ball away. Varied scorers. I thought Jack could have had a couple of opportunities himself, perhaps a little bit unselfish. You said there could have had a hat trick himself, really, but tried to square it for one or two players coming onto it. But no, I think, you know, delighted. It just takes the pressure off a little bit, doesn't it? We're back amongst it now in those sort of playoff places. Of course, there's still a long way to go, but back to winning ways, back at the Stadium of Light as well. And you know, after back-to-back home games last week, the defeat to Hull. If you're picking up another one here, you know, it gets a bit hostile in here, and we're in a bad place, so it takes a little bit of pressure off, and then we've got a good full week again now to build for Middlesbrough next week. Yeah,
big game next week, but let's look through some of the key moments from the game. There was opportunities for both sides in the first half. And of course it was Sunderland who took theirs just before half-time. Were you impressed with Stoke this afternoon? Did they look like a team in 19th position?
Strange one from them. I thought yes and no, really. I think you can see on the counter-attack they had opportunities. They've got one or two players. That Juno was quite lively, this effort from him. Didn't see as much of him in the second half, but he looked like he could be a handful, you know, in a decent side, really, at the top end of the table, really pushing if you get him on the ball a little bit more. And yeah, but then at the same time, I thought at the back they looked a little bit vulnerable. You know, quite a high line.
Especially in the early 15 minutes of the game, it looked like someone could get at.
Yeah, I thought in that spell, in that first 15-20 minutes when we had some good possession, we tried to mix it up a little bit more today. You know, as I say, usually we try and play in front of teams too much, but we did, and there was opportunities. It was just the final ball which let us down, trying to thread balls in behind or over the top. Didn't quite get it right, but we had willing runners running in behind, whether it was Burstow, Jack Clark down the left-hand side, one or two others, but it didn't come off. And then you think the game had a bit of a 10-15 minute lull in it, sort of 30 minutes onwards, really. And you're thinking about getting up to half-time now, you perhaps take it at 0-0, get in there at the break, and try and give us a little bit more in the second half. But obviously we'll get onto the goal in a minute. We had right in half time, it's a killer for Stoke, isn't it? They'd had the better of the opportunities, but then we get that half chance, really, and we put it in the back of the net, which hasn't been the case in recent weeks, really. See there, just said, we just remember on comms saying they've had 3 good opportunities, and then bang, there was another one. And then Anthony Patterson pulls off a save, and then Luke O'Nine's there on the second one to clear it off the line as well. So I thought, you know, Luke was excellent as well today. You know, without singling out the whole team, I thought Luke back there was really good again today. And this is one I was going to say with Jack. You know, he steals it off Lyndon Gooch there, and you fancy him one-on-one up against Wilmot. Said he's got him backing up into the box. You see it now, and Wilmot will be thinking, oh no, you know, up against one of the best wingers in the league. And you can see what he's looking for, Jack. I just don't think he perhaps sees Berger coming back at him, and just gets the foot in, doesn't he, as he's trying to square it for Burstow. This one now, yeah, I think looking for the penalty on this one. That's not a penalty. Trey Humes almost ran past him, I think. Not too many of the other Stoke players are asking for it. And there's the goal now. Just looking at the build-up, Lyndon goes in tight with Jack. He knows he doesn't want to give him space, runs past it. Then he gets himself back goal side. Jack slows him up, goes again, fizzes it across. Good save from the goalkeeper. And then it's that loopy ball, isn't it? And he's probably the one player who'd want that to be underneath that Abdullah Bar, because he's got a great leap on him. Good spring, gets there, nods it down, and there's Burstow. Was he 5 yards out? Unmarked. Still got to do a bit with the header because there's no pace on it, so he's got to generate the power himself. And you see there, tries to put his neck through it. Keeper's beat anyway, he's going the other way. And I think it's Wilmot, isn't it, the 16 back on the line, who's the unfortunate one. It's a deflection.
And like you said, Danny, a good time to score as well, because the heads will drop, and they look like they physically did there as well as soon as the ball went in.
Yeah, because they'll know as well. You know, I say, how are we feeling? And sometimes you don't need the manager to tell you, but they'll have got back in at half-time, Stoke, and thinking, you know, we've had some good opportunities in that first half. You know, Anthony Patterson's made certainly one good save, the other one which was comfortable from Juno over the top. And then they're probably thinking, looking at the clock as you do, big screens here at the Stadium of Light, and then you're looking and think, right, come on, then let's get into half time, and then out of nothing, Jack's got us up the pitch, and we managed to scramble one over the line. So yeah, it deflates you, and then they've gone in there now, and there, Stephen Schumacher's team talk's probably a little bit different from their point of view as well.
Just looking at some more of these exchanges.
This is the second half now. They started actually quite well. That one just pops up there for Campbell on the swivel, isn't it? You know, can he keep it on target? I think that's the key for him there.
It was a decent start to the second half.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and Linden getting forward, fizzes the ball across. You see Luke when he gets up, has a little smile because he, you know, if he gets a little nick on that, it maybe flies past Anthony Patterson. Thankfully, he doesn't get anything on it, and then Campbell's just caught on his heels, maybe on the 6-yard line, and then bang. This is what happens in football. We go up the other end. Jack does really well up against Linden, gets him back into the box and rolls it across. And yeah, you see, as I see there, you see Thompson, the fullback, he's high up the pitch and gets caught out, and they can't get back in, and he just rolls it across for Abdullah Bar. You know, how'd you like it? What was he, 8 yards out, if that? And it's just a side foot finish, isn't it? Just passes it past the goalkeeper, and then it just takes the pressure off. Well, we thought it'd take the pressure off. We go and get the third, and that's,
I think it felt like it took the pressure off.
Yeah,
at the time.
yeah, because you know whether you 1-0, even at 2-0, you know, it's that everyone says, don't they, that next goal's the big one, and obviously we managed to go and get the third. You know, if they'd have got one back in it at 2-1, get a little bit nervous in here, but we go on and get that third one, and you see the lads are enjoying themselves out there today, and a lot of positives. You know, I've said about Luke there, I thought he was excellent. Dan Ballard as well alongside him. But yeah, some good positive performances, a little bit more energy about us as well. I think the game is perhaps a little bit more open than I expected as well at times. This one for Jack, yeah, doesn't catch it clean. It's bobbling in at him, doesn't catch it clean, and I think it's Berger back there, isn't it? Just it maybe is sneaking in that right-hand side corner. You see there, just off the inside of his boot. And you see the Stoke players there getting on at the lads up the top end of the pitch. Maybe don't feel that they're working hard enough or getting a hold of the ball for them.
Right across from Lloris there.
Lloris, yeah. I say we were right behind this, weren't we? Just
he's more of a threat in the second half than he was in the first, but that was pretty much it after that one from him.
Yeah, he was in and out of it really, wasn't he? And but yeah, they got into good areas, Stoke. It was perhaps, as I said there, more of an open game than what we thought. It was going to be another one there. See some good opportunities in our box. They probably had more opportunities than us today. We haven't seen the stats yet, but I'd imagine they've had 7 or 8 good opportunities there in the game. But you've got to take them in football, and there we go now on to the third one. I think Seal's trying to play that into Ekwar's feet.
Thompson
it actually
again
pops up. Yeah, and you see Thompson, he's wrong side, he's high up the pitch, and he drifts into the middle. Bar's got Akers. Centre half has to come out of his slot. Rose. And it's just rolled back, isn't it? Touch from Pierre, bang, puts his laces through it. No chance for the keeper at his left-hand side post. And that was that. And I said, well, that's it. It's comfortable now. Can we go on? There's still a lot of time left in the game, wasn't there, when that third one went in? And I'm saying, can we go on and get 1 or 2 more? But it was the other way around, wasn't it? Stoke went on and got the next goal. But yeah, it sort of fizzled out, didn't it, the game, that last sort of 10 minutes or so, we'd say. But the lovely ball in from Linden, to be fair. Unfortunate for Jensen at the far post. He's in the right position. He's just expecting Dan Ballard to go and win it. Dan misses the ball. You know, he's aggressive. He goes up there to win it. Was it substitution that come on? Was it Lowe? The big man there, 35. Yeah. And then it just pops up, and Anthony Patterson thinks it's possibly going past the post, doesn't he? Unfortunately for him, comes off the inside and drops past him. So yeah, that was that then. Other than that, that's the sort of one negative really, isn't it? Not the clean sheet the lads were after at the back. But we still had a few harsh chances. Pierre, isn't it? Yeah. Similar to Campbell's at the other end, wasn't it? Where you've got to keep over them on the sort of side volley really when it's sitting up. And then this one, Jack, I'm thinking, yeah, good run from Chris Rigg, as we said there. He made a couple of good runs, had an impact on the game, really, bit of energy. And then Jack, even this one, I'm thinking, drive across it and fancy himself. And, you know, I think, is he trying to pick Abdullah Bar out there, outside of the right boot? And he'd be sat in there, Jack. No, he's played his part in the game. Obviously, the build-up in the first goal. Obviously, in Abdullah Bar's goal as well, rolled it across for him. But there he could have had 2 or 3 opportunities at least and worked the goalkeeper in the second half, where he's been unselfish, trying to play players in.
I'm just looking through the stats, Danny, as well. Stoke shading the possession, 58% to 42. Sunderland, and both teams had 5 shots on target as well. So that's the stats from today's game. Let's have a look at the league table if we can, because there's only one other game in the Championship this afternoon, and that was Millwall versus Preston North End, and that finished 1-1. Sunderland back up to 7th and on level with points with Coventry City, but Sunderland of course played a game more.
Yeah, played a game more. It's just goal difference, isn't it, keeping us out of the playoff spots, and well, as Michael Beale mentioned, there's no panic at this moment in time. We're in a good place. 3 points on the board. We're back in amongst it. Still a long way to go, of course there is. But all you can do is chalk off the victories, and that's what we've managed to do today, and you get ready to go again for the next one.
Yep, the next one is Middlesbrough next weekend. Before we get there, though, let's have a look at what you've been saying around the world with the hashtag #AskDanny. This one comes in from Martin. Martin always watches from Canada. He's watching in Toronto. Thanks, Martin. Oh, it's the NASA branch as well, the North American Supporters Association. Hi, guys. Hope you've had a good day, y'all. That's off me. Ever been in the running for the Liverpool job, Danny? You are at the moment.
Apparently so, yeah.
100 to 1. Look at that.
100 to 1.
Thomas Frank, 33 to 1. Brendan Rodgers, 50 to 1. Gareth Southgate and Rafa Benitez, 50 to 1. David Moyes and Didi Hamann and Eddie Howe and Steve Cooper, 66 to 1. Danny Roll and Danny Collins, 100 to 1. Well, explain yourself.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that came from. I had a couple
I mean, you've just done your badges.
I know, yeah. A couple of messages come through yesterday saying what's going on here. So obviously someone's put it in as a bit of a joke on one of the sites, haven't they? And yeah, listen, I'm happy as I am at the minute with our 16s. A couple of nights.
Have you been offered a new deal at SCFC Live yet for next season?
We'll have to discuss that, won't we? But
we'll have to get into them. Yeah. All right then. Let's have a look. What else you've been saying then with the hashtag #AskDanny? Jason has been in touch. John Ritchie, the Mad Mackham, is over the moon in the Red Cow in Gran Canaria. I bet it's a bit warmer than it is here in Gran Canaria. SAFC Colombia, what a wonderful performance. Take the notes of this game, Danny Collins. How are the lads from Colombia? Exotic.
Mixed bag there, don't we? Yeah. Everyone enjoying their afternoon or morning.
Well, it's nice though, isn't it? It's good, you know, because Sunderland supporters will be leaving the stadium today. There was over 41,000 of them as well here today. Yeah. And they've seen a win. And you've got to build on that win, haven't you? Well,
you have, yeah. And as you say there, the fans watching around the world as well and getting up at all different times in the day, and it makes your day, makes your weekend, doesn't it? And you know, as you mentioned, 40-odd thousand in the stadium as well. After last Friday, you know, it was disappointment, doom and gloom. But, you know, it's a week in football, isn't it? It's a long time when you haven't got a midweek game, but we're back to winning ways this afternoon. And hopefully that gets the lads going again. A little bit of confidence in there. Still a few days before the window closes. We've escaped any transfer rumours and questions.
Unless you know something.
No, I'm just going to keep low key and stick to the commentary and talking to you pitch side for now.
Well, he's saying stick to the commentary. I think we might be back for a podcast during the week, so Sunderland fans keep an ear out for SFC Unfiltered, hopefully, if it comes off. Anyway, Sunderland are back in action, as Danny said, next weekend. It's a 12 noon kickoff down at the Riverside against Middlesbrough, of course. 11:15 will be on air then. In that case, it's an early start in the pub for us. And I do believe that's a beanbag game as well. So if you are in the northeast and you want to come and watch the game with us and jump around when we score and get on the telly, then you can do that. Tickets are available at sfc.com as well as streaming passes right now. We'll see you soon.